and pieces of heart everywhere. Wow, 2 heart containers in a row. And we've got plenty of money for Zora and such, so nothing to worry about there. Bottle vendor with the scam. Nice little chicken clip from Furaime. Finding a bunch of the red rupees and heart pieces in these early chests. Nothing too progressive for our runners to use. The best thing so far has been the fire rod, but we don't have any magic at the moment. While there's plenty of places to get it, it's still kind of annoying to need to grab it yourself. Alright, so far, the only thing we've seen is the book is on Lumberjack Ledge. It's very unlikely we're going to see that. We have access to both of the rods. The fire rod was in the Thief's Hut. We've got the Moon Pearl here in Library. Ice rod was on Uncle. Cane of Virna was also in the Thief's Hut. Other than that, there hasn't been a whole lot of progression found. We have checked Sahasrara, the Hylia Island, and pretty much all of Kakariko that we can at the moment. So, as of now, nothing too particularly useful. Furaime opting to go into Desert at this moment. So Moon Pearl and Glove. Moon Pearl is very nice. We could reach Mokulet. Actually, no, we can't. We still need a sword for that. We've got the Glove. We could finish Desert here. I haven't seen a map check from either runner, so I don't know if this is a pendant or crystal yet. Opting to skip the heart container there. Feeling comfortable with blue mail and 6 hearts. Not too shabby. Uh-oh. Taking a little damage there. So, just picking up a little bits of magic here and there that we're going to need in a little bit. The fact that he's picking up the magic here makes... Okay, it is a crystal dungeon that I can hear from Hacksaw's audio there. So, very likely our runners are going to try to complete this dungeon here and now. They're either going to have to be very precise with their fire rod shots, or possibly use a couple of bombs in order to finish the boss off, if they want to finish it on this trip. Now, the item that was just in the big chest, I don't think it was the small key, so we're still looking for one item in Desert. We found one on the torch in the heart container, so there's only one left. I guess if you do find the other item on this side, then there's no reason to go for Lanmola's, so we have to hope that this next chest is not the map, that is. Uh-oh. Hacksaw forgot to go get the small key out of the big chest. And Lanmola's has an item now. Is Furaime going to go for it, or is he going to leave it for later, when he has better equipment with which to kill the boss? Looks like he's leaving for now. Now, that's not a big deal, because it doesn't take a whole lot to get to the back of Desert later on. Going straight for Agina. Personally, I would have gone for the Flute Grove, then Checkerboard, then Agina, so you don't have to walk out of this cave again. Well, that's just me. Man, that clip that Furaime just did is so slow when you don't have any way of getting spin speed. Just feels so bad. Alright, that's the second heart container that Furaime is choosing to skip. Feeling rather confident. Checking the stun prize real quick. Oh, missed with that last bush. Single bombs. I imagine our runners are going to go up to Death Mountain after we get the item here in Checkerboard. Ooh, a sword! That's pretty useful. Giving us a way to do spin speed makes a lot of clipping through cliffs quite easy. Or much easier. Gotta be a little bit lower than that, Hacksaw. He's trying to clip a little too high, so he's actually running into the wall collision, the vertical wall there. Uh-oh, wrong side of the cliff. Furaime now going into the back of Desert, choosing to go ahead and kill off Landmolas once and for all. Well, this one anyway. Hacksaw not too familiar with how to clip around in Desert there, it looks like. Meanwhile, Furaime is farming some bombs using the stun prize. Also picking up some magic, because that'll make the Landmolas fight a lot faster if he can land all his fire rod shots. I think Hacksaw is a little high there. He's one bump too high for the teleport he wants to do. Yeah. He's got to be a little bit lower. Now, when I say bump, you can see kind of the ridges on the slope that he's trying to clip into, and he wants to be on the third one, not the fourth. Or I guess the fourth works. It's a little bit more convoluted of a jump set, but it works, apparently. I wasn't entirely sure about that. Furaime almost done with Landmolas here. Just one more to kill. Gets it with a bomb. At the very least, gets the crystal out of it. Hacksaw should be pretty happy to see this sword here. Actually, we haven't seen the South Loop out of either runner yet. That could be the next play over Death Mountain, but I personally would go for Death Mountain at this point. Yeah, it looks like that's what Furaime is going to do. Actually, he might do the back of Escape since he has the gloves right now. 3 chests, really easy to check, really quick to check. Whole bunch of junk back there. No key means that he can't progress back through the dark part of sewers. And I guess he's going to do the South Loop now, going through Dam and the Mini Moldorm Cave. We'll see if he goes over to Ice Rod. Maybe, maybe not. Oh, did Hacksaw clip into the back of Desert? That could actually be slightly faster than just picking up the rocks. I mean, it's something you can do. He might be just doing it for fun, because going around the world like that is pretty fun. Finding the powder within the dam, so we can actually turn that in right now if we wanted to. And it could actually be required by Logic 2. So we'll see if Furaime decides to go for that maybe later. Ooh, missing that first shot and not grabbing a whole lot of magic within the dungeon. He's got to finish this out with a bunch of fighter swords. Now, the slashes and spins do the same amount of damage, so you're actually better off slashing as much as you can. Let's see, what's going to happen in Mini Moldorm Cave here? Gets the double with the bomb. Has full magic, so he probably is going to ignore that little one. 2 worms down for Hacksaw. and nothing of any value in Mini Moldorm Cave. That's a lot of disappointment so far in this light world. I mean, the Pearl is nice, and the... Oh, we found Hookshot in there? Okay, I missed that one when I was looking over at Hacksaw. Alrighty, so we do have Hookshot. That gives us Hookshot Cave, but that's it. It's really not that... It's not nearly as important in Overworld glitches as it is in NMG. You still need it for Ganon's Tower and for Swamp and Hookshot Cave, but those are the only places. You don't need it to get to the east side of Death Mountain. You don't need it to cross the river in the Dark World. Nice little bomb set up for the fake flipper. Now, he does have Water Walk armed, so I wonder when he's going to use it to dash along the top of the water. Using it right away. You can use Water Walk to get the Zor Ledge, but it's actually a lot easier in Overworld glitches because you can just you can actually just clip right through the cliff. Then you can either walk around the entire way, or if you get a precise pixel set up on it, you can jump pretty much right to the item. So you don't need to do the weird storage walk where you have to jump down the waterfall and all that. You can pretty much clip right to the item. Couple of bomb upgrades in the Waterfall Ferry. Zora Ledge is a bunch of money. Not too useful right now. I think he's going to skip that. We have enough to pay Kiki and such, so we're not really hurting. And another big old scam. I think he might have to go recollect the hook shot. Because he did reset to... Oh no, he did pay it. He just saved and quit. I didn't see his money travel down too much, so he still has the hook shot. I actually wouldn't have blamed him if he completely reset there to keep his money. It's not a bad option. But without bottles, that makes the saving the money less with a point. Now we get to see the classic DMA. Furaime is teleporting above the transition, which kind of changes the collision in a weird way. Now he has to scroll his camera a fair bit. Otherwise, when he tries to go into the Uncle Cave in the back here, the transition takes over 2 minutes. But with the camera correction, it actually takes the normal amount of time. Using the sword sparkles to find his way. The boots were on our runner's feet the whole time. They just had to get dressed in the morning. Quake Medallion, that's pretty nice. Could be required for Misery Mire. Could also be required for Turtle Rock, but highly unlikely. We don't really need the medallion to get through most of Turtle Rock. Getting a nice graveyard clip there, but a little bit of fumbling with the menu. Now we see Hacksaw doing the same DMA. DMA standing for Death Mountain Ascent. And now we see Furaime kind of jump down, but over the screen transition, which traps him all the way to the top and puts him right in Tower of Hera. We get a nice friendly big key, so we'll probably see Moldorm dead pretty quickly here. Looks like Hacksaw is opting to go to Hera first, rather than doing any of the graveyard ledges. Got a little stuck there, but found a way to hop back down onto the land there, because he was a bit up into the tower. Uh-oh, we've got an item in the Tower of Hera basement. I wonder if our runners are going to opt to skip that for now, or go ahead and take the coffee break. Unfortunately, we don't have anything to make this fight any easier, so we've got to do, I believe, 7 fighter slashes or spins to get through Moldorm here without falling off. Oh, it's only 6? Ah. I'm always used to having the hammer or a better sword, so I've never really counted it. This gives Hacksaw a little bit of time to catch up, which is pretty nice. Keeps the race close, keeps it exciting. 1 more hit. And there we go. Moldorm dead for Furaime. Right before Hacksaw goes and joins the fight. Furaime opting to go for the coffee break, so we'll get to see a bit of a pause there. I wonder if we're going to have a simultaneous coffee break here. That'll be interesting. Not really. Oh, no coffee break for Hacksaw. So we get to see more of the Death Mountain chests here. So how is Hacksaw going to get across? He's opting to do the, what we call the Turtle Rock... Nope, he's going to Spectacle Rock Cave, because we haven't seen those yet. Just bombs on top of the rock there. And more red rupees on the inside. And a big old nothing in Tower of Hera basement. Now, Furaime was had enough foresight to go ahead and set up a Death Warp. Okay, now Hacksaw is doing what we call T-Rock Climb here. Looks like he was trying to hook dash to see if he could get in there a little quicker, but is instead opting to do the dash buffers. He wants to do a downward teleport here, and then move in a specific pattern to kind of kick himself up the slope, since the game thinks he's kind of in a wall. Now you can do that in both the Light World and the Dark World, although I don't recommend it for getting to the east side of Light World Death Mountain. There are, in my opinion, better ways. Just a red rupee on the floating island, so we're not going to get that right now. More rupees in Spiral Cave. Having a sinking feeling that we're going to find our next progression in the Dark World rather than over on this side of the mountain. Find the mushroom and the lamp. Well, lamp is okay, makes things easier, but not really required. I mean, it is required by logic, but I'm pretty sure these runners are comfortable with their dark rooms. Ooh, getting that nice triple kill on the second bomb. Finding the mirror. Alright, so we did find our next progression. Mirror is a very nice item to find in Overworld Glitched. Gives us access to the mirror clips, as well as mirror wraps, which the wraps are not required by logic, but can speed up quite a number of things. Hacksaw resetting his camera in Hera. We'll see if Furaime does the same, or is... Yep, he's resetting his camera as well, so let's see what the Dark World has in store. We've got pendants in Thieves Town and Pod, red crystal on Turtle Rock, and I guess we already had the other red crystal in Desert. While we do note the red crystals, now that we have the mirror, it actually doesn't even matter, because we can reach the Pyramid Fairy using only the mirror, and the boots don't even need the Moon Pearl. So Hacksaw going to the east side of Dark World Death Mountain. Not entirely sure if it was going to check the Turtle Rock Medallion or not, but opts to go for Super Bunny Cave instead. Meanwhile, Furaime is going for Hookshot Cave first. Bombos in the first chest of Hookshot Cave. Pretty nice. That's 2 out of 3 medallions. We still need to know what Myers is first. Now, we could actually go into Turtle Rock right now, and the Cane of Samaria could be in there. We'd have to mirror clip by using the differences in the cliffs between Light World and Dark World. Alright, so our runners are basically tied right now. I wonder who is going to go where. Looks like Hacksaw might be going for Catfish, I think. Turtle Rock Medallion is Bombos. Yeah, Hacksaw's going for Catfish, so is Furaime. Gets another one of those auto walks that we love to see. Just some bombs. And neither of our runners are choosing to go any further. They could go down to Pod, but without bow or hammer, it's not really that good of a proposition. Looks like Furaime is choosing to keep the map wrapped, which means he's either going into GT, not advisable, or he's going to the Pyramid Fairy. He's got to find a little ledge to go down. There he goes. Looks like Hacksaw is doing the same. This is interesting. Our runners are following each other very closely here. Oh, wait, no. Hacksaw looks like he's going for the super jump down to Swamp area. This is a fun one. He's got to find the right spot to jump down, and he just wraps the screen over and over and over. And once more for good measure. Now, he does need to enter the Swamp Palace here in order to reset his camera, otherwise he's not able to do much down here. Furaime took an intentional death there so that his mirror portal is saved in the castle courtyard. So that's pretty fun. bonking for Catfish is actually for if you want to mirror to the light world immediately after, because the bonk sets you up on a quick warp pixel. Quick warping is, of course, when the mirror transition takes about half a second less time than usual. Ooh, hammer in Pyramid Fairy. That's very nice to find. And bow in Hype Cave. So we found the 2 pieces of pod in those 2 locations. Very nice. Although I don't think we're going to see pod for a while, considering it's a pendant. Furaime opting to do the front of escape now. That has not been seen. We've seen the Uncle chests. Furaime didn't get those yet, so he doesn't have his Ice Rod. Hacksaw opting to go over towards Village of Outcasts. Now, even though he doesn't have the mitts, he could still clip up into the town itself. Or go to Meyer to check out what the medallion is. Maybe both. Ooh, are we getting a drawing from Hacksaw here? No. Got cut a little short there by finding the bottle. Oh, I think Hacksaw realized he doesn't have the mitts and is going to have to clip up. Why did he place a bomb? Is he having... I think that's the second time he's done that. Might be accidentally pressing it when changing his grip to get the quicker teleport there. Alright, so Hacksaw got 2 clips to go up. He's now in the Village of Outcasts without the mitts coming from below. Very nice. Meanwhile, Furaime is still finishing up escape here. Finds the Hacksaw finds the Master Sword, or the second sword, in the brewery. And is opting to go for Sick Kid right now. It's the flute. Flute's nice, but it's a luxury in this mode. You don't need it considering how quickly you can go around the overworld. But if you have it and you're in Village of Outcasts, might as well activate it. It can save some time here and there. Looks like Hacksaw is going to go turn in his powder. Now he's going to try to do the Batcave clip here. He's got to get a certain distance into the cliff here, and then do a dash jump. Or rather, just dash into the cliff. And he'll actually jump over the screen transition. And if he holds a certain direction, we'll fake flipper that transition. Oh, he's not quite in the right spot. He needs to be a little higher, I think, or a little further in. No, not quite there. Meanwhile, Furaime is turning in the mushroom for a red rupee. Decides to keep the mushroom, I guess. Oh no, it's actually gone. He saved and quit. So, Hacksaw trying to do this Batcave clip. That's not quite it. Oh, he had it there. He's got to just hold right. There he goes. He fake flippers transition, gets a weird wraparound, and now he's got to swim his way to the little cliff on the other side of the hammer pegs. and then he can just hop right down into Batcave. Meanwhile, Furaime is picking up the bow in Hype Cave. And as a couple of people have pointed out in chat, a very nice place to find it, considering that Pod and Eastern are pendants, which means the bow could have been everywhere except upstairs GT. Now, it looks like Hacksaw had a significant heart advantage over Furaime. Furaime had set 2 or 3 containers that have out in the open. And another in the Egypt house. So we have a potion, which is good though for clearing potions that need to use any of those. Beep boop, beep boop, are we okay? Alright, we're fine. Okay, so Furaime going into GT. Doesn't have the Cane of Samaria, so we can't check the right side, but with the hookshot and hammer, can check the left, and with the bow and hookshot and a fire source, can check the upstairs. So, we still need to defeat Aghanim 2 at some point, so this needs to be done. But we can do this before finding all 7 of the crystals. Now, we still need all 7 of the crystals before we can kill Ganon in Phase 4, otherwise he just laughs in our face. We've got our 3rd bottle in the Stalfos room. The second one for Furaime here. Uh-oh, those 2 skeletons were up in the air when he cast Quake, so they didn't get affected by it. That's kind of funny. Hacksaw dipping into Skull Woods before Thieves' Town here, kind of interesting. Getting a little bit of mummy trouble there. And some nice boomerang strats for the crystal switches in Ganon's tower here. Looks like Hacksaw, firing a shot off to the side through a little bit of miscellaneous input, but is opting to kill Mothula before clearing out the front of the dungeon. Meanwhile, Furaime is in Rando Room. It's another heart container. Map, some arrows, small key for Hacksaw, and some arrow capacity, so nothing too useful there in Rando Room. Pedestal is not dead. Pedestal could have the Cane of Samaria. Or the Flippers. Those are really the two items we're looking for at this point. Possibly Ether Medallion, because neither of our runners have been into Mire Medallion, into the Mire area to check what it is. Now, we're probably not going to read what's on the pedestal because, again, book is on Lumberjack, and I don't see either of our runners going and picking that book up anytime soon. Having a lot of problems with Mothula there, but takes care of it just fine. Still at over half health. And that's our third crystal for Hacksaw. Nothing in the GT big chest, and it can actually hold progression more often in this mode than your no glitches seeds. Neither of our runners have been to Mire, so we have... I haven't seen either runner go in there, so I don't know what the medallion is. Now, Hacksaw is clearing out the front of Skull Woods, while Furaime is going through upstairs GT. It has 4 items up there, and he needs to go kill Agatu at some point, so it's not a bad play. Not a bad play at all. Opting to use a lot of arrows here in the gauntlet. Not a bad choice, especially because they do decent damage to the enemies in here. Although, getting them to hit when all the enemies are on conveyors is another story. Hacksaw doing another T-Rock climb here. I wonder if he's going to dip inside the dungeon at this point, looking for the Cane of Samaria or the Flippers. Jumps down a little prematurely. I think he's going to be okay. He might just go through Super Bunny Cave to get back up to the top. Furaime using up his red potion, and he doesn't have another one at the moment, because all he has is another empty bottle. Still has the powder and plenty of magic, so still not in too much danger at this point. Missing a couple of the fire rod shots, he's not going to have enough magic here to kill all the Landmolas. He does have lamps, so he should be okay for the torch rooms afterward. Meanwhile, Hacksaw is checking Mimic Cave without the hammer? Or did he go to Pyramid Fairy when I wasn't looking? Yeah, he doesn't have the hammer. Very nice Wizrobe's one room from Furaime there. It's a much harder room when you don't have the Cane of Samaria. Nice full magic drop. vanilla big key in Turtle Rock. Now, there's only three more chests that Hacksaw can get. He can get the Chomps chest, the big chest, and the Crystal Roller. If he wants to get anything else, he either has to mirror up to Laser Bridge, which could only have the flippers for him, or possibly Hover. But I don't think he wants to do that. Just a small key. He's going to mirror out. He could Death Warp. I missed what was in the pre-Moldorm 2 chest there. So I'm not sure if Furaime found anything useful. Doesn't look like it. So one more chest for Hacksaw to pick up here in Turtle Rock. And Moldorm is punishing Furaime again. Just another small key. So where is Hacksaw going to go now? Without the hammer, his only Dark World access is this mountain portal. We get the shovel after Moldorm, so that gives us something to look forward to. With Hacksaw resetting his camera there, that means he's not checking Pyramid Fairy yet. He does need to do that at some point to get the hammer. A nice triple for the first cycle of Agatu for Furaime. And just misses getting a double on the second cycle. Cleans it up nicely. Looks like Hacksaw is going to mirror wrap to Laser Bridge. Okay, he's fine. He was able to kick himself out of the wall the proper way, so he can try again. Didn't quite hit the direction at the same time as the mirror, so he's gonna have to try again here in a moment. Actually, he's gonna bind himself to the transition so he knows he's on the right position. Uh-oh. Looks like he's stuck. Meanwhile, Furaime is swimming in the moat in front of the pyramid, an area you're not normally able to access, and is going to head over to the Hammer Pegs area. Now, that's going to be the only thing he can do there for the time being, although I imagine he's going to mirror to the Light World to go to Village of Outcasts. Or he could just save and quit and descend Death Mountain again. You don't have mitts, Hacksaw. That doesn't work. We find the cane in Hammer Pegs. That's very nice. That'll give Furaime a way to clear out Turtle Rock now. Now, by logic, we need the mitts and the flippers still. But we can actually bypass the mitts requirements for Ice Palace. That's actually the only place we really need the mitts. But since we have the mirror instead, the only thing we're looking for is flippers for Swamp Palace. Okay, it looks like Hacksaw is keeping the map wrapped there. So I wonder if he's going to go to the Pyramid Fairy now. He does have the flute, which makes getting to the castle courtyard a bit easier. Nope, he's going down to the swamp area again. Meanwhile, Furaime looks like he's going to go and complete Turtle Rock. I'm the one that discovered that super jump down Death Mountain to to the swamp area. That was a fun one. Alright, so Furaime is starting at Laser Bridge, working his way backwards. He's going to find the big key in the vanilla location, and I imagine as soon as he finds that, he's going to mirror back and kill the boss. No flippers back there, so they're elsewhere in the world for now. So now we finally get a good look at Misery Mire. Although I didn't see the medallion yet. Heart piece in the blue boom. Ether. Okay, so we're still looking for Ether Medallion now. Man, so unlucky. We have two of the medallions and neither of them are really any use here. Now, is Hacksaw going to dip into Eastern, searching for more progression? He might. He does need to find the hammer in Pyramid Fairy, and then after that go to Hammer Pegs. And then we still need to find the Ether Medallion and the Flippers. Yes, you do still need to kill Aghanim 1 in order to get the Lumberjack item, and in this particular run, the Lumberjack item is the book. So we don't know if it's required yet, but it's very unlikely we're going to see it for a long time. Uh-oh, a little bit of a wayward shot there on the first Ice Rod shot from Furaime. He's got to be very careful with his magic here. He doesn't have a refill at the moment. So far, that's a bunch of the items out of Eastern. He's still searching, so there must be one more. I missed what was in the very first chest, but I guess it's got to be either the map or the compass. So there's only one more thing that he can get from Eastern. He could also be completing it to go check what Sahasrahla has. Just the map from Trinix. We still have 3 chests in the very front of Turtle Rock that we haven't seen. Alright, there's our last bottle. We have found them all. They were empty, red, green, and blue. Now, Hacksaw is missing the empty one. Furaime is missing the green and the blue one. And has already used his red potion. So, as of right now, Hacksaw has a good number of safeties on him. We get a look at Mimic Cave here, while Hacksaw is almost done with Eastern. Just one more room before the Armos Knights. Another heart container. Now, Furaime has actually skipped a couple of them, so he's found a bunch on the way here. Very nice Armos kill from Hacksaw there. While Furaime continues to backtrack through Turtle Rock. Now, I did notice that he went back through the portal there. I think he opened the dungeon, so he's going to be able to leave as soon as he's done with it. And I think he might try for a Skull Woods map wrap, which would be interesting. Now, we've already seen that the mushroom holds a bit of junk. So as of right now, this doesn't give Hacksaw any kind of an advantage. I'm surprised Furaime didn't open up Turtle Rock. I guess he doesn't need the animation, he could just mirror on the nose again. Hacksaw might be doing... Please do, Pyramid Fairy. You need to get your hammer. Don't go down to Swamp again, please. Alright, he's got his mirror out. I think he's doing Fat Fairy. Alright, so Turtle Rock is cleared out. He is not doing the map wrap to Skull Woods. It is a bit dangerous, but could be a bit of a speed-up for him. Instead, he's opting to do a more traditional Death Mountain descent and head towards the Skull Woods and Village of Outcast areas. Alright, Hacksaw finally picks up his hammer. GT is not a terrible play, because he could complete it like Furaime did. Actually, it looks like Furaime is going in to complete the right side of GT now. That is up to 5 chests if he chooses to do Tile Room. Hacksaw looks like he's trying to get back to the pyramid, but doesn't know how to kick himself out of the Pyramid Fairy entrance. Instead, he's opting to do Escape, which is something he hasn't quite finished yet. Nice little block bonk from Furaime. Still on the lookout for Ether and Flippers. Looks like Furaime is heading over to the mire area. I think he already did Stumpy, didn't he? Or no, he's doing this in the Dark World so that he can continue onward after digging up the spot here. Finds half magic, which is pretty nice. Having a little bit of trouble dashing into that cliff, but gets it on, I believe, the third try. He's mainly over here to check out what the Mire Medallion is, I believe. Now he knows it's Ether. Now, the next place that Hacksaw does need to visit sometime soon is the Hammer Pegs. And it is entirely within logic to get there without the mitts by going through the moat the way that Furaime did. I believe that Furaime is about to pick up the Master Sword here in the brewery, which is one thing he was looking for. So now he can kill Ganon as soon as he has all of the crystals that he needs. And we'll see if Furaime decides to dip into Thieves' Town, because Hacksaw skipped that, I believe because he was waiting for the hammer first. Although GT is a much more dense population of chests than Thieves' Town, so it's not unreasonable to go for GT over Thieves' Town once you find the hammer. So far, lots and lots of junk, but that's to be expected when we're down to just 2 items to look for. Now, either of them could be on the Ether or Bombos tablets, requiring us to go and defeat Aghanim 1. So we've certainly got some hope there. Personally, I hope that that doesn't happen. Alright, so now both of our players have their flute activated, which isn't too particularly useful. It can save a little bit of time here and there, but we have the Moon Pearl, we have the boots, we have the mirror. We've got everything we really need to traverse around the world. Now Furaime is heading into Skull Woods. First, gonna check the Bumper Cave ledge. Actually, he's first going to check the King's Tomb ledge. Or, not ledge, but the King's Tomb itself. Now, he could have gotten there earlier without the mirror, without the mitts or anything, but he may not have been comfortable with that particular clip. So it's perfectly reasonable to check it now that he has the mirror. Unfortunately, it's another 10 arrow drop. We've seen quite a number of those already. We may need to start dipping into some of our pendant dungeons a little bit further. Now, Hacksaw already fully completed Eastern Palace, and we've seen the front of Thieves Town. But there's still all of Palace of Darkness and the back part of Thieves Town as well to explore. Hacksaw moving on to the Gauntlet in GT. Misses a couple of shots, but gets the skeletons to stand on the same spot and kills them both with the same slash. And gets rewarded with a nice fairy drop. Hacksaw getting a little rocked there, but with 14 hearts and red mail, he can just shrug it off. Now these slashes are not going to do too much for Hacksaw. He wants to get more spins if he can, but cleans up the last Landmolas. And is continuing on to the very top of GT to go fight Moldorm 2. Thankfully, he did remember to pick up a little bit of magic that he needs for the torch rooms coming up. Furaime just reaching the end of Skull Woods here. Just needs to get this one key from the Gypto and can go kill Mothula. Opting to go for Hammer Strats, since it does Tempered Sword damage. Has gotten 2 full Tempered hits and at least 1 Master Sword slash. And it's done. There goes Mothula. Which gives Furaime a crystal advantage at the moment, since he has already completed Turtle Rock. what is the next move from here? Do you dip into Pendant Pod, or do you go into Ice Palace? Probably not Ice Palace, since that's still technically locked by the mix. Hacksaw picking up the shovel after Moldorm. We know it only has a bit of money in there, so not particularly useful. Let's see how Hacksaw handles the RNG with Aga 2 here. Gets the triple on the first cycle. And just barely misses, just the same that Furaime did. Cleans it up very nicely on the third cycle. Ah, thank you, I was incorrect. I knew it was a green thing with numbers on it. So, half magic was that shovel, not rupees. Early big key in pod means that the entire dungeon is actually bow-locked. Luckily, we found the bow pretty early on. So where is Hacksaw going to go now? He's contemplating something, staring at the camera. I wonder where he's going to go now. Looks like he's going to head down to the swamp area. Although he has the gloves and the hammer, it would make more sense if he used the portal just outside of Link's house, in my opinion. More small keys in the Palace of Keys. Was that 4 small keys in a row? The 2 on the right side, then the next 2 chests? Apparently the reputation of the Mullet Dungeon is rather apt this time around. All the keys in the fronts, all the items in the back. Hacksaw doing the mirror wrap to get into Ice Palace, so he's going to search that out, even though it's technically not in logic at the moment. He has everything else he needs to clear once inside, though, so this is all going to go rather smoothly for him, I believe. Nothing in the dark maze for Furaime. Meanwhile, Hacksaw into the first penguin kill room. Not sure that Quake is going to kill those 4 penguins in the center. Yep, they were in the air. Magic cape in the blue rupee hallway. Not really any use, because we can just clip to the top of the bumper cave. And I guess Furaime was counting his items there and knows that Helmasaur can't have anything he needs. Probably just checked his menu right before exiting, noticing he was missing either the map or the compass, as well as one of the small keys. Because I don't think he checked the harmless Hellway. Hacksaw going for the Ice Palace bomb jump. Gets it first try. Misses the hammer dash to the pots, but that's fine. He'll be able to get by just fine. Make sure the door is open, though. Uh-oh. Falling in the hole means he's got to do that bomb jump all over again. Hacksaw entering the second kill room for the penguins. The Pen Gators, as they are more aptly called. As Furaime makes his way through Eastern, which Hacksaw has already completed. So far as we've seen only one item out of Ice Palace, outside of the dungeon. So we've got 2 more to look for on our way to Cold Stare. And at this point, it seems very likely that there is something in Ice Palace that we need, although we would still need the mitts from somewhere first. So I do have to wonder where they are. There's our second item in the 10 bomb count. Meanwhile, Furaime is making his way through Eastern, almost done with it, just has to go through these last few rooms and kill Armos to get his green pendant. I imagine he's going to turn it in immediately after, only to find out that it's just junk. It looks like that Hacksaw is opting to orphan the iced tea chest for now, because he hasn't looked it up yet. It could have an item, or Cold Stare could have an item. I wonder if he's going to go around and get it. Yep, he's heading back upstairs. Gonna take the loop around and pick up that one chest. Beats having to go through the dungeon all over again. Not sure if Furaime meant to mirror there. Maybe he did. Could be collecting the pendants here in an attempt to pick up the pedestal item. We still have the back of Thieves' Town, but this would have Furaime at 2 out of 3 medals, which is not terrible. Seems that Cold Stare had the third item anyway. Hacksaw could have just skipped this chest altogether. Now we get to a Cold Stare fight. Not a whole lot of magic. He does have just enough for Bombos, but is going to have to either rely on his potions or using Master Sword spins or the hammer to get through Cold Stare here. He's got enough for a couple of Fire Rod shots. Although I imagine he's going to use at least one of the potions here. opting to go for a bunch of slashes. Runs out of magic. Still doing fine at over half health, considering he has red mail. Doing some very nice dodging. Gets tagged once there, 2 puffs down, 3 puffs down. Cold Stare is defeated. Ice Palace was not the answer. Which could be good news for Furaime later, since he may just go through the dungeon in Go mode, skipping all of the chests on the way, not needing to backtrack. Looks like Hacksaw is opting to take the Palace of Darkness dip, finish it off entering just as Furaime is finishing it off. No, there was an item still on the boss. So now he has 2 out of the 3 pendants. 1 more sits in Thieves' Town. Furaime has already opened up the first 4 chests in there. May still need to do the back half. Still on the lookout for our flippers and Ether Medallion. It actually looks like that Furaime may go into Ice Palace here. He's in the area of the world where he'd do that. And he doesn't have the flippers, so he's not going into Swamp. And is in the wrong area if he wants to go into Thieves' Town. So he may just go and complete the Crystal Dungeon. So he is not, in fact, completing it in Go mode, like I had suggested a moment ago. So now we have basically traded spots in our runners. One is in Pod, the other is in Ice Palace. I have to be a little bit careful there. Transition's just fine. And it's now going to do the Mirror Wrap to get to Ice Palace. Misses at first try. We'll see if he can get it real quick. There it is. You know you get the Mirror Wrap when you get that nice mosaic transition that you get when you go between the Lost Woods areas. Hacksaw going and picking up all the keys in the front here. And Furaime using the hook shot on these Pen Gators to get them killed a little bit quicker and not have to rely on the Quake and whether or not they're in mid-air to kill them. All in all, it seems like this race is rather close, other than the fact that Furaime has the cane from Hammer Pegs and has cleared all of Turtle Rock at this point. That's pretty much the only difference between our 2 runners right now. Hacksaw skipping the Hammer bomb jump for now, while Furaime completes the Ice Palace bomb jump. And Furaime going for the bomb, bomb, bonk. We've got slightly different routes through these dungeons. Looks like the Furaime is checking the right side of Ice Palace first, rather than dipping down to the Freezor chest. Meanwhile, Hacksaw hitting the Dark Maze later, having not done the Hammer Bomb Jump. Now, it's not to say that Hacksaw's route is necessarily slower, it's just different. Since both of our runners had to mirror from the back end of that, in any case. Uh-oh. Thought he got the crystal switch with the arrow, but missed it just barely. Furaime missing some fire rod shots, but who cares? He has half magic. Hacksaw, wake up. Hacksaw. Wakey, wakey. What's going on with Hacksaw? His timer's still going, his stream's still up and all that. What's he thinking about? Nope, there he goes. He should have gotten that done earlier when he was on the, in the tile room in Hera. Would have had a much longer time to get that done. And we are finishing up these two dungeons in very similar times. So the next play is likely going to be Thieves' Town, followed by a pedestal, a blind pedestal check at that. Other than that, we might see... Well, we've got to find the mitts. We need to find the mitts before many other things get into logic here. Is Furaime making the Aga dip? He might be going for it. Going for the book on Lumberjack. That could be where our mitts are located. Is Hacksaw doing the same thing? Are we getting a simultaneous Aga play? I'm guessing Hacksaw doesn't know how to get to the hammer pegs without the mitts, and this seems to be his best option. So here we are, an hour and a half, and our runners are pretty much synced. So far, our runners are making some pretty quick work of Aga Tower here, going rather quickly through it. Speedrunning, if you will. Wow, that one little bit of the wall there blocking all of Hacksaw's fire shots. Having a little bit of trouble with Circle of Pods there. And now we get to see how many blue balls does Aga 1 give. We had one from Aga 2, which would have stopped the 2 cycle from happening entirely. Let's see how many we get this time. Now, both runners do have the same RNG for the bosses. Or at least for the Aghanim 1 fight, the Aghanim 2 fight, and the Ganon fight. Now, the pattern goes 1 orange ball, and then a 50-50 shot 3 times in a row between the orange ball and the blue balls, and then a lightning, and then you repeat that cycle over again. So far, we're up to 3. Good old 3 blue ball Aga. So not that it matters for this match in particular, considering we have the Moon Pearl and all of that, but at this point, if we did any kind of Dungeon Bunny revivals, we would still be in the real Dark World, rather than getting the fake one. It's important to know. Alright, so now we have our book off of the Lumberjack Ledge. I believe I said near the start of this race that it was very unlikely we were going to see that. Well, the unlikely has happened. Looks like Furaime is going for the Bombos tablet first. Both of them are relatively quick checks, considering you can just clip up the ledges rather than have to mess with going into the Dark World or anything like that. Alright, now we're on the cliff. What do we get? What do we get? Junk. Alright, so there's still Ether Medallion. There's still Ether Medallion, and Hacksaw is right on Furaime's tail in searching out these tablets. You know, this could wind up being a vanilla mix, which would probably... it unlocks the Smith sequence at the very least, so there could be something there that we need. And we see the Ether Medallion, or the Ether Tablet, rather, and it's just money! So, I guess our answer was in the very back of Thieves' Town. So we need to go there next, I believe. Oh, we do have Spike Cave. I almost forgot about this. Luckily, Furaime hasn't. Get a sword upgrade. Not the worst thing in the world. We still haven't found silver, so that makes the Ganon fight quite a bit easier. Unfortunately, with Aghanim 1 dead and having the mirror, it means that our save and quits in the Dark World will wind up on the pyramid now. And still, Hacksaw is right on Furaime's tail, other than missing the cane in Hammer Pegs and fully clearing out Turtle Rock. I wonder if Hacksaw is going to go clip over to Hammer Pegs now. He seems to be on the way for it. Yep, he's doing it. He does know it. He just put it off until now. So he is going to get his cane, which means he's likely going to go into Turtle Rock after that, and full clear that dungeon. While Furaime is finishing up Thieves' Town here, likely getting the mitts. That's what I'm calling. Although we are specifically looking for the Flippers and Ether Medallion. We actually have no other use for the mitts in terms of completing the rest of the Crystal Dungeons. Having a little bit of trouble jumping in bounds. You gotta be as very far down as you can be. Oh, he gets it. He's good. Good. Prove me wrong, why don't you? And Hacksaw may also go for a right side GT clear at some point too, which is going to cost him some time. Nothing up by the bombable hole. There's still 3 item locations left. The big chest, the small chest, and blind. It looks like Hacksaw is going to go for Turtle Rock first, out of the things that just opened up to him. I do wonder if he's going to mirror wrap here. It would make sense to go kill Trinix early and then clear the front, because he's already cleared out the other chests and has the big key. But it looks like he's opting to go through the front anyway. Oh, and he clips a little too low and winds up getting stuck. Unfortunately, mirroring is not going to save him here. He's going to have to save and quit. unfortunately, Hacksaw had to save and quit in the Dark World, which means he spawned on the Pyramid, making this trip up to Death Mountain a bit longer. And we have Mitts on Blind. So now, I imagine Furaime is going to do the Smith sequence, which either of those two items has to be either the Flippers or the Ether Medallion. Actually, it could also still be Pedestal. It could still be Pedestal. But we're down to pretty much just 3 checks, and it looks like Furaime is going to go for Pedestal first. Deadrock's giving Hacksaw a little bit of trouble. And here we go. He's going to read it first. Looks like he just read it without the book first. So we're getting a blind pull here. It's the Flippers! So now we can go into Swamp Palace. Finally. Which is pretty much guaranteed to hold our Ether Medallion, which is required for Misery Mire. Although there is still the Smithy sequence, which I guess Furaime wants to clear out first, just to make sure he doesn't have to clear out anything in Swamp Palace. This is actually pretty nice routing from Furaime, because once he's done with the purple chest, he'll be right by the swamp area, albeit in the light world. I think he still has his blue potion, so we might see a fake flute out of him, which wouldn't be the worst. Would be nice to see one for this seed. Looks like instead he's just going to use the regular flute here. Silver arrows on the purple chest, which means our Ether Medallion is in Swamp. Oh, that was Sankheart in Mimic Cave. I didn't realize that earlier. It's a nice health refill as he goes through the dungeon further. You know what I'm thinking? We should play a miniaturized big key guessing game for Misery Mire. I believe there's 6 chests it can be in, and once we're done with Swamp Palace, we can do a little bit of a guessing game there. Anyone up for that? We're getting some numbers. Alright, so we've got 4, 4, 5, 3, 2, 4, 1, 6, 2, and a 19 from Glenn. Glenn, that's too high. Stop that. Get Butter Sword out of Swamp Palace here. continuing on, we still gotta get that Ether Medallion. It's in here somewhere. These are the last chests for Hacksaw to check. I believe he can go straight to Trinix from here. I don't believe he cleared out the front yet, so he may dip back in to do that real quick. Get those 3 chests. Oh, gets a little bit blocked. Get another piece of hearts. It's been a very healthy seed. Although I guess that happens when you wind up full clearing everything. Hacksaw having a much easier Trinix fight than Furaime did with this Tempered Sword. Makes it so much nicer than going with a Fighter Sword and Hammer. And there's our Ether Medallion in the back part of Swamp. So at 1 hour, 48 minutes, and 22 seconds, we have finally hit Go Mode. Not entirely sure why Furaime is checking that chest. He has everything he needs. He's got so much health, red mail, butter, silvers. All that's left is to kill Argus and kill Vitreous, and then we can go kill Ganon. Meanwhile, Hacksaw looks like he's going for the right side of Ganon's tower. Now, he's already cleared the dungeon, but since he picked up the Cane of Samaria rather late, hasn't been able to check the chests on the right-hand side. Just a single silver arrow kills Argus in his second phase. Yet another heart container. We are on our way to Misery Mire. Hacksaw using a minor glitch where you have the cape, you grab a wall, and your magic doesn't deplete. It's very handy for this room. So, are we going to get a bird toss out of Furaime here? I'm guessing no, but I can hope. Oh! He's entering with the bird! A decent Mire 2 for Furaime. Hacksaw, a little low on magic, has to rely on bombs in order to hit this crystal switch. I guess he's going to use up his green potion here to get some more magic for using Samaria blocks. First chest in Mire is not the big key. Second chest in Mire is not the big key. Alright, so which one is Furaime going to go for first here? Probably just the compass chest, which is on the spikes with the blue pegs in front. This is chest number 3. It's a piece of heart. And by extension, I think he knows that the cutscene chest, where the big key is normally held in the vanilla game, I believe that can't be the big key anymore. So here's chest number 4. Uh-oh. I think he's going to check the one that's right next to the big chest first. And that should be his big key, which would make it number 5. And it's number 5. Congratulations, Gamer Blue. You win our miniaturized big key guessing game. Looks like Hacksaw is heading toward Thieves Town to clear it out. We'll get his mitts off of Blind, and then we'll go do the smithy sequence, I hope. He may also go check the pedestal first, but we'll see what happens when he gets to it. Looks like Furaime set up the spooky action glitch in order to hit the crystal switches from a bit further away, using the weird property of the splash damage from the fire rod. Bunch of silver arrows into these eyeballs. Now a couple more for the big one. And that is the last crystal dungeon done for Furaime. All that's left now is the big pig. Actually, that's pretty much literally true. All that is left is the big pig. We've done everything else. Luckily, with Aga 1 dead, makes saving and quitting very simple to get to the Ganon fight. And with gold sword and silver arrows, red mail, and a whole bunch of hearts, I imagine this fight should be rather simple. Hacksaw making his way through the upstairs of Thieves Town, while Furaime is entering the 4th phase of Ganon. Gets 1 shot, waits a little bit to keep Ganon low so he can hit with a couple more silvers. He's only going to get 2 here, and then gets the 4th one up in the top left. Ganon is dead. Furaime finishes with an official SRTV time of 1 hour, 56 minutes, and 19 seconds. GG to Furaime. Now, I don't believe we're going to get an interview, but he will be in chat here to answer any questions you may have here. Alright, so we know where the last items are going to be. We've got the mitts on blind, we've got the flippers on pedestal, and Ether Medallion is in the back of swamp. We just need to get through that little sequence for Hacksaw to finish this seed. So far, a very good fight at all. Just barely misses that last hit. Aw. I cursed him. I cursed him on the very last phase. Nonetheless, still a decent fight. Still continuing on. Now hopefully he heads for the pedestal. Opting to go for the smithy sequence first. This will net him the silver arrows at the very least. Both of our owners were technically in the smithy at the same time there. Does that count as a high five? There's our silver arrows. There's really only one more place that Hacksaw can check at the moment. He's got to go straight up to the pedestal. There it is. There's the pedestal. We get our nice set of water toes. And we just get a nice 1,000-yard stare into the camera there for a couple of seconds. I guess that's one way to get to Swamp. He is... Hacksaw really does like this clip a lot. He's done it, I think, 3 or 4 times this match. I get that it's a nice, quick way down to Swamp, but I don't think it beats going to Link's house and just going through the portal normally. Admittedly, it is fun to watch Link just wrap around the screen 4 times. And again. Now, one thing to note is that if he mirrors to the light world here, the 2 transitions he has are going to be longer than normal. They're a little bit longer because the game has to resolve a little bit more. He's not going to soft lock here, but it stays dark for longer than it should. Goes for the anti-fairy skip, but just barely misses it. Here we are in Swamp Palace. I imagine that Hacksaw is going to take a similar route and just head straight for the back. There's not really any point to checking the left side until all the stuff in the back of Swamp is checked, when you're only looking for one item. Both of our runners were very well equipped throughout the entire seed, getting pretty much everything you would ever want, and more. More than you would ever want. Alright, come on, Hacksaw. Go to the back. Looks like he's heading that way. He's heading that way. We're gonna get our ether. We're gonna get our ether. You know, Furaime, you wouldn't have tied X chest count if you didn't check the waterfall chest. So that was that was the one thing that brought it to a tie. The completely worthless chest that you didn't need to check there. So now we're on to the Argus fight. What if we're going to see anything fancy out of Hacksaw here? He's going for it. Nope, doesn't quite get it. Notice he paused there for a second. I think that's because he did the hook dash, and in order to slash again, he needed to get rid of it, which usually means just dashing in place for a second. Nice single shot to kill off the big eyeball. And now we just have one more dungeon. Now, is Hacksaw going to set up the spooky glitch here? Looks like he's going for it. So as long as Hacksaw does not clear the value in the first Ancilla slot by using Cane or Boomerang or Powder up until the basement, he could do the spooky action glitch here. He's opting for the Fire Rod, hopefully going for a fast Mire 2. Just misses the Wizaro with the Sword Beam. So not quite the fastest, but still pretty good. So the big key we know is to the left of the big chest, which means he has to go and drop the blue pegs first before heading over there. And he does need at least one small key to go over there. Goes through the bridge chest first, gets the map. So we're going to see if Hacksaw knows that the only way the cutscene chest here can be the big key is if you get a small key in this next chest up ahead. He's getting the heart piece, and is correctly going off to the side. One more place for him to go, which is exactly where the big key is. Now, unfortunately, using his small key here means he's got to go elsewhere to get to the basement. He can't go straight north. He's got to backtrack all the way across this room again. Now he's pretty low on magic. I imagine he's going to want to grab the big magic refill that's to the left of just after this door here. There he goes. Picks up the dust, so the value that he set with the bird should still be set. And we hear the crystal switch, which means we're spooky. He went down a little bit too quickly and unloaded the crystal switch temporarily. But it still knew that it got hit, so as soon as he loaded it again, it flipped for him. Thankfully, now that he is done with Spooky, he can freely use the powder and not worry about clearing the altitude value. Has no more use to him at this point. There's 2 more silvers here. We are done with Misery Mire. Now all that's left is the Big Pig. Now This save and quit is going to do the same thing, where it puts him right on the pyramid because Aghanim 1 is dead, and he has the mirror. You know, we actually did fight Aghanim twice this seed. So Ganon's not wrong there. We did drive away his alter ego twice. One more arrow needed. And there it is. Ganon down. Hacksaw finishes in second place with an official SRTV time of 2 hours, 13 minutes, and 32 seconds. Good game, Hacksaw. So overall, oh, there you are. Hi, Hacksaw. How you doing?
Hey. Hey, how's it going? You guys hear me all right?
Yep, we can hear you. It seems that you really liked that one clip that brings you down to the swamp from Death Mountain. I think you did it 4 or 5 times this seed. Other than that, what do you think about this almost all dungeon seed?
It was definitely different. I made it play on book because I figured I know Furaime is way better than I am, and I figured book had to be something in order for me to win. So I just went with book.
The thing is, the two of you were in Aghanim's tower at the same time. I think he was just barely ahead of you, but you were kind of... I think you went to pod, no, you went to Ice Palace, and then he went to pod, and then you guys flip-flopped, and then you both went to Aga. It was amazing to watch that little segment there.
That's going to be awesome to rewatch. I've really got to rewatch this. This is going to be awesome.
Yeah, there wasn't really too much crazy tech that you needed to know. You both got the mirror reps that you needed for Ice Palace and Turtle Rock. Well, needed in a, I guess, subjective sense.
Yeah, I actually failed that mirror rep on Turtle Rock. I was hoping to, do that, get lucky, find something that was out of sequence, and maybe get ahead because of that. But I don't know. I just knew I needed to get lucky, so I tried some weird stuff. And it didn't work out. I had fun doing it, though.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun just jumping around the overworld all willy-nilly, paying little heed to the laws of physics.
But yeah, no, that's the clip down to swamp. I use that a few times because it's really easy to get to Hype Cave from there. And I think one time I was thinking about going to Mire, and then I changed my mind. There were so many times in the seed where I was like, oh, I need to go here, and then I remembered, a minute later, oh, I really should have went over there. So then I changed my mind midstream, and it made no sense where I was going, probably.
Yeah, there were a couple of times where you did do that swamp clip, and I'm thinking, there's a faster way to get down there. You could have just gone right to Link's house and used the regular warp.
Oh, yeah, I figured that out about hour 45 in that I had the gloves and the hammer.
Yeah. The mitts actually wound up being a big old, what is it, red herring? Just didn't really pay off at all in the Smithy sequence, and there was nothing in Ice Palace. The two real areas that the mitts unlock, and it just had nothing.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as I saw the mitts, I was like, ooh, let me go get those two things. And yeah, sure enough, it was nothing, so, yeah.
Well, it's silvers, but at this stage, you kind of don't need that.
Yeah, I mean, silvers are just a luxury.
There's so many luxuries in this mode. So, have you thought about any other kind of sequence breaks you want to try out later on in the tournament here?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to go see what I can learn in the next 2 days here, because I race again Wednesday night with Furaime at 7:30 again. So, yeah, I don't have a whole lot of time to learn stuff. So if I learn something, it's going to have to be pretty good and pretty quick.
Well, if you do want to learn stuff, just go ahead and ask in the Glitch Modes channel on the main Randomizer Discord. We always have a bunch of people ready there to answer what questions we know, and we're usually pretty quick about it, too.
You guys are. I mean, like, you've helped me a ton, because I know earlier I asked some stuff just this morning while I was at work, and you guys were quick to come up with an answer, and that would have helped out, because I wouldn't have known how to do that if you guys didn't answer.
Yeah, as scary as all these glitches look, they're actually not as difficult to perform as you would think. Just really requires pressing 2 buttons at the same time, several times in a row. And you can usually take as long as you want with it. So I heavily encourage people to get into this mode. It's tons of fun.
Yeah, definitely try this mode at least once. There's lots of resources out there. There's a guide in the resources part of the Discord that'll get you started. It'll get you most of the glitches. And then there's the glitch channel that'll, you know, just go in there and ask. There's plenty of people in there to help, and everybody's real helpful. You guys have been awesome.
Well, I think that just about wraps it up for us here. Once again, good game to you. We had Cyclone on Restream for us. We had Dwindlin tracking for us. I've been Tajso on commentary. Up next on Speed Gaming 2, we have Bloodborne. So I believe there's a tournament for that going on right now. So hope you all keep on this channel. Stay tuned, and we'll catch you all later.